Satisfy your need for happiness through your own curiosity with the Ranveer Show. What was it growing up like in the 70s? In a not so rich India versus now? Do you think of this at all?
All the time, and I feel sorry in my own judgmental way for the kids who are here right now.
Really?
I feel so sorry for them.
I thought you were going to say I was feeling sorry for the kids in the 70s. Go on.
Not at all. We had the best time climbing trees, catching tadpoles, getting into fights, getting out of fights, knowing how it is to swallow your ego and pride and say, sorry, brother, let's play with, give me your cricket ball. Yesterday you didn't give, yaar, ladai ho gayi, sorry, yaar. In not having the parents interfere in our fights, taking a stance, understanding what comes with taking somebody's side. All that skills that was so, okay, hey, I think the only justification I'll give for people born in the 70s in India is look at all the bloody CEOs in the world today. They were all born in the 70s and 80s in India, man. In India. They're not from any other country. We did something really, really right. Look at every successful, high net worth, influential Indian today. He's our generation. True. So we did something right. Much better than what the rest of the world did.
What was more correct in the environment? Scarcity?
No, just the middle class humbleness, the ability to, not pass judgment, have so many information at your disposal that you realize that if I didn't understand the word mental health, for instance, it's not like we didn't have that problem when we were youngsters. It was dealt in a different way. It was taken care of by the family and the community. You had people to talk to, and you had the elders in the family, the neighbors. Yeah, iska kar do, ye kar do, yaar, ho gaya. Solve to kiya. Aisa nahi tha ki people don't take drastic steps. When we were youngsters, I lost a lot of my friends who committed suicide when they couldn't handle the stress. It was always there. But yet others managed to survive because of the way the whole society was built around handling situations like this, right? The more richer you got, the more cosmopolitan you got, the more into the city you got, the lonelier people started becoming. So I don't know anything about my neighbors in the apartment I live in Mumbai, half as much as I know about all my neighbors in Jamshedpur when I was there, because I knew whose cousin was getting married on which date and which train we had to go to take to get there. Those kind of keeping the mind active and alert and spread over various interests was one of the greatest survival techniques. I'm feeling sorry for the kids now because they don't know that.
You think now they're living within loneliness?
No.
Then?
No. So you're talking about understanding Gen Z, right? Brother, I will tell you, I have a Gen Z in my house, right? I'm amazed. Any parent will tell you that when 3, 14, 15-year-old guys got together in a house, the only thing the parents used to say is, Bhaiya, awaaz kam kariya, why are you guys yelling so much? But I'm telling you now, every parent I'm talking about will relate to what I'm saying. A teenager, when their friends come right home, you are surprised because they hardly make a noise. You can hardly hear their voice. The only time you can hear their voice is when they're playing video games with multiple partners around the world on your Fortnite or something like that. And I'm sure every parent listening to this is smiling. That is the difference. They are far wiser than we ever were. They're not in a hurry. They are, in fact, I'm surprised at the frugal nature at which Gen Z is living. In fact, it started off in Japan, where they're even more minimalistic. They don't want to buy a car. They don't want to buy houses. They're, few dresses. They're moving on with life. It's just amazing how peaceful they look and how connected they are. So, Ranveer, when I was a teenager in the 80s, I never heard a foreign accent, man. I never saw another person of another race, or interacting with them in Jamshedpur was never a choice, unless you had an exchange student who came and, he looked completely different from us. Because the only way we could hear a foreign accent was when we caught somebody on the ham radio and Australian accent, Filipino accent, and you realize there's a different world outside the city you're living in. Now the child is born with Netflix, Amazon, social media. He's used to all the accents which we could not understand easily. His connect to the entire world is far more than we ever had. And so his wisdom is far different than what we had as children.
Is that also a curse?
No.
Like intellect can act against you as well?
No. The curse is the availability of too much information that is irrelevant to you. You get up in the morning, for example, you get up in the morning and you're looking at news and you find that some guy in Bolivia rode over his dog with intent and killed it. It has nothing to do with you. It's a sad, unfortunate incident, but it plays in your mind. How can somebody cruel, yaar? How can you ride over your own dog or beat him to death? Things that we never knew when we were in the 70s. If something happened in Delhi, 2 days later, we got the newspaper in Jamshedpur. It was, maybe we heard it on the radio. So irrelevant information did not have a bearing on my day-to-day mental health. Now, something happened there. It's instantaneous news. It's bombarded on your face. Bam, bam, bam. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing. But it plays on you. And that is the sad part. So slowly, what will happen is, all these generations will start saying, enough, yaar, this information, I don't need this news. I don't need this news. So now instead of watching shows on Netflix, you're just flicking through the first 10 seconds of every show or first 20 seconds of every reel. And you just say, I know. And it comes to a hurtling, and a cacophony that you want to stay away from. And that's one of the biggest ways of breaking up a society. When you stop making the guy want to dwell with things that is happening around him. You create so much of confusion. You create so much of disdain with information overload that the guy doesn't know that the Britishers are coming in and taking over the country. Or the Mughals are coming in and taking over the country. You're fighting within yourself so much. Apna jaat, apna ye, apna honor, ye, wo. And the Britisher came and took you over because you're not bothered about your situational awareness. That's the easiest way to take over a community, a country, a nation, or a sect.
But what if it's happening in the whole world?
It is exactly what is happening in the world. And so the disparity between the haves and the have-nots is getting wider and deeper as we talk.
So when the aliens get here, they'll just be able to take over.
Easily. I think the fight will be amongst the middle class people who will try to maintain the sanity of stopping this divide.
What divide?
This divide that's happening between the haves and the have-nots. You know, the ones don't have it are falling off. Let us say, and I say have and have-nots, not essentially monetarily. Okay? Lot of us feel अब ये AI आ गया इसको समझना पड़ेगा अब ये मतलब हम लोग नहीं समझेंगे तो we'll be behind like so there are our age group of people who are saying enough yaar we also have as much right on living on this earth the way we were conditioned to. Don't bring me all these new age. I don't understand all this. Yeah, I respect women. I'm supposed to respect, and they're happy. Now you're bringing in a whole new category of things that they are feeling unhappy and inadequate about. That's creating a So they're all saying a pushback. It's happening around the world. So like, अभी तुम अपना फंडा तुम्हारे पास रख, मेरे को अपनी जीने दे. I won't interfere with your life. Don't interfere with mine. Let me be happy. And I think that creation of pods around the world is going to happen.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.